Now, it seems there's a new player in the corporate jet game. Travel, the sister company of Airstream Jets, which operates in the US and across Asia, has launched into the Australian market. But is there room? Sky News business reporter Susan Wilson has the details.
Yes, private jets that cut out the need for waiting time, schedules and the general public. We have them in Australia too, of course, but now a travel management company is bringing a new kind of corporate jet option to the country.
In this country particularly, the airline and the corporate travel agencies figure that if it can't be done by the airline, it can't be done. And the jet charter industry figures that if they can't, or if a particular operator can't provide a solution, that it can't be done. That's a fallacy. What we've done is merge two skill sets, and our experience in the airline industry and the ability to also involve the jet charter industry in providing an overall solution was one that was long missing in this country of ours.
Business jet travel is aimed at Australia's growing population of small-cap miners, companies that regularly travel to remote, often obscure locations, but still can't afford their own plane.
At the moment, we're seeing a lot of interest from junior miners who have been in the exploration side of things and now starting to become larger players. They don't have any travel policy. Our ability to introduce travel policies so that they know where their travel spend is going, so that they understand where their travel dollars are being spent. We have an amazing reporting process to help them grow. So as they grow as a company, they know exactly where their dollars are being spent. As opposed to what's happening at the moment, we're finding a lot of companies, particularly those medium companies that travel management companies don't really want to know about because they don't have $1 million or $2 million accounts. They have no travel policy, therefore find that they are spending so much money as their employees are, because there's no governance or there's no rule.
And while most of us would consider private jet travel to be a bit of a luxury, Baz Niklowski says that in many cases it can be the cheaper option.
Once you take into consideration the time that's been paid for by the company to their consultant or employee, and when you look at the productivity that's been lost as a result because of these employees or consultants are sitting around airports or overnighting when they're not supposed to be, taking 2 days to get to their place of work, often leaving their homes on their day off to get to work. That's all being paid for. What we're saying is we can cut out a lot of that. And there's been many instances. In one particular instance at the moment, we have a situation where employees are coming from offshore, spending 28 hours to get to their current workplace. We've cut that down to 8 and saved that company almost $250,000 in lost productivity.
But is there space in the market for such a service? Airline analyst Brent Mitchell from Veritas Securities says there might well be.
Well, look, there's room certainly for a charter service, and there are charter operators already. It's the ability to be able to utilise aircraft time and to be able to expand your fleet to cover your clients' requirements, travel requirements.
I think the biggest challenges in Australia is that anything new that we're introducing to the marketplace is always a challenge. But more importantly, we have found that although it's challenging when we speak to your CFOs and CEOs, given that jet charter is still seen as a luxury in this country, once we point out examples of where in fact it's more efficient and produces a better result than sometimes very inflexible airline schedules, then they start to listen. So our biggest challenge is going to be to convert CFOs of corporates and governments to understand that jet charter is not a luxury, is a tool.
Susan Wilson, Sky News Business, Melbourne.